Welcome to Stargate SG1 for the first time. Still not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Aiken, and I'm watching Stargate SG1 for the first time.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm watching Stargate SG1 for the 47th time. But for the first time, I am looking for what Stargate is trying to teach us. I'm watching through a brand new lens that I've never looked at this show through before. And in that, I am looking for those sci-fi messages that Stargate is trying to show. You know, those types of messages that give us hope that things can be better in the future. They tell us, they show us how we are, how ugly we can be sometimes, or they just tell us how to be better human beings to each other.
Ho, ho, ho! It's the holiday episode called Holiday that we're watching today. I'm all in on this being the Christmas or holiday period episode.
Why? Why do you think it's the Christmas holiday episode, Jeff?
Well, it's called Holiday.
And
let's start with that.
Okay.
And I believe, if I am tracking release dates right, this would have come out on December 23rd of 98.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
So no brainer on it being Christmas. And we're going to dive in. We're going to see Tilk. How does he hang out in the SGC when it's a holiday? What's O'Neill do? We're going to get this is going to be kind of a pause in the stuff, hey, it's just a get to know you kind of a thing.
Well, today's show is the 17th episode of season 2 of Stargate SG1 titled Holiday. Jeff, we're still mixing up where everything is. The original air date for this episode, January 13th, 1999.
What? Of course. Is it they're celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day?
There you go. Let's go with
there
that.
It is.
Let's go with that. So this is several weeks after the 5th race, matter of time, whichever way you throw all that. Jeff, I do want to tell you just a little bit about this episode without lending too much into spoilers. Okay. So in this episode, we're going to meet a new character named Machello. Machello is played by a very special guest actor. I'm not going to say who it is. I want you to figure it out.
Okay.
And if you don't, then I'll tell you when we get on the back end of the show. Good. All right. Now, my guess is you won't get it, but you might. Interestingly, Machello's backstory, while not detailed here in this episode of SG1, not super detailed, was really detailed out in the official Stargate SG1 RPG rulebook.
Oh, wow.
For their season 2 game, Friends and Foes. Also, just a side note, this episode was nominated for a Gemini Award for Best Achievement in Makeup.
Wow.
So there you go. So
they're gonna eclipse the spirits with their little flappy nose things.
That was woo. You know what? Yeah. Cool design, cool work, the practical pieces did not look good. It it looked good. It was not pleasing to the eye to look at.
Agreed.
Well, with that, Jeff, it is time for us to go watch this episode. If you're new and just joining us for the very first time, first of all, welcome. You're amazing. How this works is Jeff and I are going to go watch this episode together right now. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, just stick around. You don't have to do anything. The reaction to this episode is coming up. If you're on Patreon or you're not on Patreon and you would like to catch the full unedited version of this reaction, that's where you can do that is at Patreon. That's patreon.com/Babylon5 First, or check out the show notes for the most updated link.
If you're listening to the audio podcast on a podcasting app, you're about to gate into the future. We're going to jump ahead. You'll meet us where we will have watched the episode where I'm going to share my for the first time reaction. Brent will share any sci-fi messages he picked up. What do you say we do this? Let's go on holiday. They're going to gate to the North Pole.
Yes, this is the toy shop right here. I always wonder if anybody ever got the DHD a little too close to the Stargate and turned it on and then it whooshed itself out.
Oh, I was thinking the people would come out and just trip over it, bump into it. Oh. It's always interesting the different rooms the Stargates are in, how the cultures take them.
Do you recognize this room? It's the Centauri throne room.
Is this Goa'uld technology?
Devices are unfamiliar to me.
You can tell by the hangings, right? Cartagia originals.
Right? Look at that.
It's a bulky looking mirror. Oh, it's a Newton.
It's an iPad. Or a, what do you call it?
What's in there?
A Kindle.
Palm Pilot.
It's a Kindle.
I have been there.
It's Santa.
I never thought about that until this moment. That's good.
I am unarmed.
You don't have to be
Man's
afraid.
Yoda.
Right. Afraid be you not.
We're not ghouls.
Of course we are not. But if we are not ghouls, who are we?
Is this just another dude who's been alone for a long, long time?
Well, I'm Daniel Jackson from the planet Earth.
No, I'm Daniel Jackson.
Is he
These
4?
are very interesting machines. Are they?
These are very
inventions to
interesting
fight the
machines.
Goa'uld?
Yes, inventions to fight the Goa'uld.
It's a mechanical bull.
It's like a Goa'uld tester.
Daniel?
I'm fine.
Wet my pants a little bit, but mostly okay. Just the electrical discharge. Oh,
Are you all right, sir?
He's got a faint pulse.
All right, Carter, why don't you dial us out of here? Teal'c, grab the gentleman. Let's take him back
Teal'c.
to base.
kill him.
Also, let's gather everything up and take it with us. If it's all meant to fight the Goa'uld, let's do that.
Yeah. So
right.
they touch the thing, and then Michello just
Drop that.
dropped down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I will tell you, Jeff, this is one of those episodes that I say every sci-fi show does at some point. You'll recognize it. There's a lot of tropes you'll begin to recognize here real soon.
Is Michello the guy I'm supposed to be guessing the guest actor?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
So far,
Yeah.
I'm getting some Doctor Who vibes right now.
Okay.
But that doesn't narrow it down very much.
Nope. Not unless you're going to tell me that it's David Tennant.
Yeah, it is not.
No, it is not David Tennant. I promise you that. Nor what's the other guy's? Matthew Smith.
Matt Smith,
It's not
yeah.
him either.
Well, everything seems fine.
He's not going to live much longer, is he?
I don't think so.
Was it a machine to implant his consciousness into Daniel? Is that what's going on?
Let's continue without Dr. Jackson. Captain
You're a good
Carter,
guesser,
you were
Jeff.
about to brief us about the device.
Yes, sir. Daniel, do you recognize any of these symbols?
No.
He is way low key.
Keep trying, people. This could be some
Well, he-
valuable technology.
Literally just got a high
Dismissed.
voltage shock.
General, Dr. Fraser thought I
voltage.
should go home, get some rest.
Take it, A.
Thank
Or
you.
two. Maybe a few. What do you think, General?
Right? She did say a couple of days.
Look, it's old school Uber. Or military Uber.
Military, yeah. A moober.
A Uber.
Thank you, I'll be fine from here.
I wonder how often he gets to his house or his apartment.
Yeah. I believe in the movie she found him in New York City and just brought him to the SGC. So
Have a great day.
at what point does he actually go out and get himself an apartment in town?
Right?
You know.
And why would you?
Yeah.
Just do the on-base housing. Saves so much money.
You called, sir?
Jack, Sab, Teal'c. Finally.
How does this gentleman know our names?
As I've been trying to tell the General and the good doctor here, I am not
I'm Daniel
Jello.
Jackson.
I am Daniel Jackson.
That's funny, old man.
we
You
go.
played that joke when we were here.
I realize what I look like. Ask me anything.
There's that trope.
Something only Daniel would
Ask me
know.
something only Daniel would know.
Okay. Who's Cassandra?
She's a 12-year-old girl we found abandoned on
I'm recognizing
P8
the voice a little bit,
X987.
but I can't place it.
P8X.
987. Yeah.
All right, lucky guess.
I'm enjoying this so much, Jeff.
Where
Like
was
I'm
the
enjoying
Stargate
you
found?
so much right now.
at a dig in Giza.
All right, describe for me the dress your sister wore last week when I took her out.
I don't have a sister, Jack.
And I wouldn't let you take
And
her
if
out
I
if it
did,
did.
I would let you near her.
Yeah, I've never seen this
Okay.
episode before.
Let's assume for a moment that you are Daniel Jackson. Then who the hell did we just send home?
Here's my guess is
Yeah.
that Michello isn't even Michello. Like, this is a thing that's been going on for a long time, kind of moving people. in there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's why he's
here's
the stuff of Jaffa legend.
here's not Michello right here.
We don't know that it went both ways. Daniel could still be Daniel.
His
Could be two
doorman said he
Daniels.
never came into the building after he was dropped off.
There you go. Let's find him.
And what if he is
diving head first.
We're going to have to prepare for that possibility.
Tilk's like, I will destroy, I
Fraser.
will kill him.
Sir, this problem is beyond my expertise. I'm going to have to consult with some neurospecialists, sir.
Do it.
Remember last time they brought in a
Wouldn't it
consultant?
be a little easier if we just
Didn't
went
go so
back,
well.
got this machine, tried to slam it into reverse?
All right.
Or at least study it a little bit.
But consider that device hazardous material. Prepare yourself accordingly.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, if I'm the general at this point, I go, okay, Jack, You go get Daniel Jackson. We're going to send SG whatever to go get the machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing here.
Because literally this little crew here is the only one that can go get Daniel in a weird situation.
Or even just, I'm going to send you and Teal'c to go get Daniel, or you and Sam to go get Daniel, while the third one of you goes with another team to go get the machine. Because somebody's got to be like, that one.
Yeah, that's the one. Also grab all the other stuff too. It could be awesome.
Right. Turns out his stuff works. Maybe, as it should. Maybe. They got hazmat.
I want to check out Michello's room. Maybe he has some electronic notebooks that I can actually read.
All right.
Or maybe regular
Captain,
notebooks also. What do you got to assume they're
maybe
electronic?
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
They're going to swap now too. This is going to be fun. Oh, this is going to be great.
What?
How did it go, Colonel?
It did not go well, General Hammond.
You think?
Did you ever see The Good Place?
A couple of episodes, yeah.
Yeah, it was an NBC show. It's on Netflix now. They have an episode in there, and a lot of shows do this thing, but they're doing it here. But the whole this actor's going to play this actor's character, gimmick. One of the greatest ones. They had it in Picard season 1, right, where Rios was all the different holograms, sort of a thing.
Yep.
Jerry Ryan and Voyager. Here I am naming all the episodes that this is. It was so good.
That was the episode that I went, that girl can act.
Yeah, she's the real deal. There's a lot more going on here. But I want to call it that there's an episode, I think it's in the 4th season, I forget, of The Good Place, but Janet, who is everything, basically becomes every character. And the actor, there's Stacey Darcy or something like that. Just, incredible job. I am so excited to watch Christopher Judge do O'Neill. Like, this is going to be my favorite thing ever, I think.
You think?
Just a head bump. You think?
First, let's just try grasping it normally, the same way you did before.
Well, why didn't we think of that?
It's brilliant, Doctor. Nope, still got a worm in me.
Nope. Still got Junior.
All right. Maybe there's an in and an out handle. You switch sides.
Cross arms, underside.
They could have
overside.
opted to just walk around the table, but no, they turned the table.
It's a lazy Susan.
Yeah, right.
We did not make progress.
Okay.
You feel like they're just making fun of each
maybe
other.
it has something to
in
do
this.
with the order in which you grab the handles.
Maybe if you stand on your head and grab the handles.
I'm not feeling so hot.
This likely means my body has contracted an illness my symbiote must repair.
I'm actually sick most of the time.
It can only accomplish its work if you put your body into a state of Kelno-Reem.
Meditation.
It's
You don't look so good.
what do the Vulcans call it?
Right. The it's not the Kolinar.
Kolinar, yeah. There you
You
go.
will become increasingly ill
Whatever Tuvok used to do in his room all the
as
time.
long as my symbiote
Well,
does
he
not
does.
have the opportunity to make the necessary repair.
This is pretty new info on the
Yep.
symbiote.
Yep, you're learning
So
this.
It's just gonna get worse.
Yeah, prior to this, it was, hey, they just fix
If
everything.
you do not perform Kelno-Reem, it could lead to my death.
This really does prompt the question of what makes you you,
Right.
right?
Oh, that's good.
Receive it.
Because like at this point forward, they're gonna have such different experiences. Is it really them?
Yeah.
Here, the symbiote will receive information necessary to repair your sickness.
Good for O'Neill, like actually playing along and taking it really seriously. That's, it's in line with who he is, but it's outside of the character he puts forward. Just shows like what a stand-up dude he really is.
He's not responding.
Can you use the machine and dump him into somebody else?
And get a respirator ready just in case.
Janet.
Do you have anybody on life support you could swap him with or something? Like, I don't know.
He's not responsive.
Someone who's already
He's
going to
incoming.
die? I feel like I think I know who the guest actor is, but I'm going to hold on to it.
You are?
Yeah. Not sure. I'm not 100% there yet.
You don't want to call it out yet? How much do you think Icy paid for that?
Dig in, Machado.
Oh, at least
So the hot flush
$8.
melts all the ice cream.
Maybe as much as Zima did for TKO.
From now on, I only want to eat hamburgers and French fries and ice cream sundaes, and I want to be with good people like you, friend. All good things
My
come
man.
to an end,
That's my
Machado.
man right
Oh,
there.
No, my friend. Only evil things must come to an end.
He's like, oh, she looks good too.
How does one court a wife, Fred?
Usually with lots of time, energy, and those credit cards.
Good. Let us begin now.
Hold it there, buddy.
Before we get to that, just a little public service announcement. How cool was that of Michello? Like, hey, bro, we're just two people who are a little strange out here. Let me get you some food. Let's go do something cool. What if, just thinking, what if in the next 4 weeks, we'll give everybody a month, 4 weeks. This is what, episode 17? No, end of the season. We'll go to the end of the season on this. I want you to hit us up on our Twitter. It's down below, or on the comments here or whatever. How cool would it be if some people did this for people out in the world? Just let us know if you do it. I'm going to do the same.
Did what, Jeff, specifically?
Found somebody out there who's homeless or down on their luck and take them out to eat. Get to like talk to them, treat them like a human. Treat them like a human.
Ask them questions about themselves and their lives.
Yeah. Don't talk about you.
Yeah.
Just get to know them a little bit. Give them 40 minutes of dignity and some food. Easier than it sounds, and it will make a huge difference. Remind me to say that for the audio listeners.
Don't hurt him.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
All good things do come to an end.
They didn't read him his rights. They had to right to remain silent. Nothing.
But technically, they're not like arresting him. They're just like absconding him or extraditing him back to SGC.
Bringing him in. You have to wake up.
How do you tell dude he's got to go back into that body? You have minutes to live. Now grab this machine. Also, they haven't figured out how to change him back.
It's nice to know you don't just like me for my looks.
Yeah, truth is, I actually don't really like you at all.
Janet.
Just nobody else can read this stuff.
He's like a brother. That's
Well, it is good to have you back, Dr. Jackson.
Reverse what you've done to my people.
I cannot do what is impossible.
Then you won't cooperate.
On the contrary, I am telling you the truth. It is not possible.
Why not?
In simplest terms, the device retains a memory of every transference. For the very reason you are asking me, I designed it so that it encrypts the transference.
So you have to
blocking
like
any reversal.
move everybody around to everybody
Then
else.
Reprogram it so it will.
Merry-go-round.
You do not have the necessary technology.
Come on, Sam. You're thinking what I'm thinking.
it's a
Even
fun
Mary
puzzle to
wanted
figure out,
change
though.
it. I could not.
It's a merry-go-round of transferences.
All right, so we got to put him here. We're going to take him and put him over there. We'll put her over here. We're going to move this one over here. We're going to put this one back over here, and then we're going to loop this one back around here. And then
It's the whole like puzzle with one piece missing. You got to
Enjoying
slide the
the
pieces
scenery.
around for.
It's the only view you'll have for the rest of your life.
You're a good guesser, Jeff.
With my knowledge, I guarantee you not only will you be able to effectively defend yourselves against the Goa'uld, you will in fact be able to defeat them.
And our cost for this knowledge?
My freedom, of course.
And Dr. Jackson?
Consider him a casualty of war.
Oof.
I am offering you the salvation of your planet. Is this not worth more than the life of one archaeologist?
I don't know about the customs of your planet, but here on Earth, the value of a life is priceless.
If you had the technology, you would do the same. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think you
Because
would.
then I would become no better than the Goa'uld. I am not a Goa'uld.
In fact, we know that. We saw that in Thor's hammer, that given everything, he'd
Goa'uld
still give it
use
up to help
house
somebody.
Because they think they are better than humans. Because they believe they deserve it.
Ooh. Paint the mirror black,
You're
my friend.
cruel,
That
Michello.
hurts.
I am nothing but a host to you.
You tell him.
I am not a Goa'uld.
He's in VFib.
He's going to unplug something or
on,
turn
Dad.
something off.
If I could trade places with him again, I would. But unfortunately, I am the only one who cannot.
There it is. Sam's like, oh,
You're the only one who can't? Get Colonel O'Neill and Teal'c.
heck yes.
Trust me, Colonel.
Michello's all about it. He just walked over to the machine. I wonder if he saw, like, when he saw the work and the care and everything that went into saving Daniel, like that was proof of the esteem they hold life in compared to what he's used to.
Here?
I wish I had time to teach you the symbols. In your hands, my inventions could go on fighting the Goa'uld.
It's all right. I'll figure it out. Please.
I am myself again.
Yes! Yes! shave my head?
To see this, man? Come on.
It's like a man of my age with this full head of hair.
Right.
Don't touch it.
Thank you for my holiday.
Oh, he said the thing.
Welcome back, SG1.
I love how these episodes just end. Like,
right, just
that was it. It didn't need anything else. It was real clean, straight out. Jeff, you and I have just now, in this moment, finished watching the episode Holiday. What do you got for us?
I want to start with a thing I said during the episode, but I want for the audio listeners. I have a challenge I want to put out to everybody. So in this episode, Daniel and this dude Machello switch places, right? Yep. So Machello's on his deathbed. Daniel's young, spry, and all those things. And so he's out in the world trying to experience it. He runs into this dude named Fred. Fred appears to be a person that's homeless, and he's bumbles his way into taking Fred to lunch, hanging out with him, getting to know him. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
My challenge to everybody out there is between now and the time we finish season 2, then that comes out, that's like 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now.
It's
how you do it? I know, right? It's kind of awesome. I want you to go do that. Go find a person who's down on their luck, who might be homeless or something. Take them to lunch. Get to know them. Ask them questions about themselves. Give them 40 minutes of being treated like a human and getting some dignity. It's not hard to do, and it's going to make a huge difference in somebody's life. I want to hear about it. If you do it, hit us up on our Twitter or here on comments and Patreon, wherever you can get a hold of us. If you do it, let me know. I'm going to do it myself, and I'll share everything I can from it without, compromising what somebody doesn't want shared out in the world. But go out and make a difference in somebody's life. Cost you $20 and 40 minutes. Outside of that, this episode is so much more fun than I think it deserved to be. You said earlier, like every show,
Jeff, I'm sorry.
does this. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want to stop you there just for a second.
Oh.
I want to give folks another practical way to do what you just said.
Oh, okay.
I understand, guys, sometimes grabbing somebody and trying to get them to go with you to a restaurant to sit down and have a conversation might be weird, might be awkward. They might say no. Here's another way to do exactly what Jeff just said, because I love your challenge, Jeff. I'm going to challenge you to do what my kid does. Our Babylon 5 listeners may have heard this story before, but my kid, my 11-year-old, who just has the biggest, most generous heart of anybody I've ever met. He really does. In both my car and his mom's car, he keeps a bag just in the console always. And in this bag is a bottle of water, just a yay big or so, not super big bag. But he keeps a bottle of water. He keeps some sort of a snack, a granola bar, candy bar, something like that, packet of gum, but he also has like some toothbrush and toothpaste, and maybe he's got like a crossword puzzle, and he has different stuff like that. And he keeps that in there, and whenever he sees a person that's homeless, he takes that bag to give to them, And so a real practical way, keep one of those in your car, and whenever you see one, you literally could just walk up to the person and say, hey, listen, I don't have any money to give you, I don't have a, but I would like to give you this. And as they're getting it, now you have an opening to be able to sit and talk to that person just right there in that moment while they kind of look at it. It doesn't have to take a super long time, but
a couple minutes.
It's a practical way to do what Jeff just suggested as a challenge, which is a great idea. Great challenge, Jeff.
Thanks. Yeah. I know I feel good when someone looks me in the eyes and says something kind. Do it. Make it happen.
There you go. You never know the difference you're going to make in that person's life.
Yeah. Could be huge.
Yeah.
You said coming into this, every TV show does this episode, not just sci-fi shows, right? Like I was talking about The Good Place that did this episode. So many of them. And I love this episode. I love the acting challenge and the actors having so much fun playing other people's characters. Like I think that we watch so much, we consume so much media that we just take acting for granted, right? Like that's just what they do, and they're this thing. But when you see Christopher Judge being Jack O'Neill, right? Or here's my thing. Or when you see Michael Shanks being Daniel and Machello, because Michael Shanks was the guest actor. It was Michello?
You got it.
Can I tell you how I got it?
You got it. That's so good, Jeff.
So he was, first I was getting some Doctor Who vibes off of him, and it just wasn't like lining up to anybody. I think it was just the makeup that did that. And then there was something in the voice that just was hitting me. So there was a scene, I think it was him and Sam were talking, and I just didn't look at the screen. So I didn't have a visual. I just heard it. I'm like, that's Daniel's voice. But I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. And then I observed that they were never on screen at the same time.
Oh, look at you.
Deductive reasoning right there.
By the way, if you go back to when they first meet at the beginning of the episode, there's this whole exchange when Michello and Daniel are going back and forth like, I am Daniel Jackson. I am Daniel Jackson. I am Daniel Jackson.
Yeah, which would be fun. Like, now that I know it, that scene's going to be even better because it's just like, yes, you are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was great. It was so much fun to see them do this. The Michello guy, interesting. He's a fugitive. He was like public enemy number 1, a legend told to the Jaffa who created these weapons. He was captured by the Gould. He was tortured by them, and they were trying to find him. The episode ends with Sam's got this Palm Pilot, this Newton, this first generation Kindle with this weird coded language on it that has the blueprints and everything for all these designs. He didn't have a chance to teach the language, but I'm pretty positive this is going to show up again. Like, we had the Trinium that we lost access to, but also didn't. So now we're going to have this code that we didn't learn how to read, but eventually will.
We have the Trinium that we lost access to. And oh, by the way, we now have a new iris made of the stuff.
It's a massive, huge iris of it.
Right.
Either way. But yeah, a cool character in and of himself. But we got a couple cool things in this one. We learned about Kelnorim.
Yep.
Up until now, my understanding was Jaffa have their Gould in them, Junior, and that basically replaces their immune system. Something bad goes down, it goes in and attacks it. This added a piece to it that there are times when you have to enter this state of deep meditation. You go into your own mind. Kelnorim, and that kind of lets the Gould do its thing.
Yeah. It's literally what the Vulcans do. It's the same deep state of meditation. You know, that helps to rejuvenate you and set your mind right. Yeah,
this is a fun episode. Not a lot in it that happened. Just a really cool thing to see everybody's acting chops. Yeah. And I enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
What I'm looking forward to, because I know they're in this one. What did you get in sci-fi messages?
You know, there was some good stuff in here, and I'm struggling to kind of put my finger on the thing. Because I think there was a couple of different things, you know. One, I love this line that Michello/Daniel said. He said, "Only evil things must end." In response to Fred saying, "All good things must come to an end." He's like, no, only evil things must end. For good things, such as ourselves, we are the good things. It is possible to go on forever. Now, I don't know that we live forever. I don't know that we're ever going to get to that point, but I love the idea that it is the good things in us that survive and move to our children. Okay, you don't have children, nieces and nephews. Okay, maybe you don't have nieces and nephews. The neighbors around you, the people you impact at work that then carry those good things. The good things is what survives and carries on and lives forever. Is that at all what the show was saying? No, it's just I heard this and I attached it to this thing and made that sort of video. But I did love that line. Only evil things must end. For good things, such as ourselves, it is possible to go on forever.
That was great.
I love that. He also says this. He says, I used to fight, but I no longer want to fight. I only want to eat hamburgers and ice cream and hang out with my new friends. Like, I love that. The idea that you have an old soldier, a guy that an entire planet kept hidden, you know, a guy who fought, who did everything he could. He was, as you said, public enemy number 1 to the bad guys. He was the resistance. And he's like, I don't want to do that anymore. I've done my fighting. I'm past that.
I'm done.
I'm done. I love the fact that he just says, I don't want to fight anymore. Now, in some cases, and I want to issue a not a warning, but what I don't think this is. I don't think this is a person abandoning his post.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? I don't think this is a person just leaving the fight to leave the fight and just say, screw the rest of the world and the rest of the galaxy and the rest of the universe. I don't care. I'm going to go do my own thing. I don't think it's that. I think he's just saying, he's hit that spot where he goes, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to be all about this. What does he want to do? Eat hamburgers and eat ice cream.
Heck yes.
And frankly, he's a little too old to still be fighting,
He put in his time, I mean,
Yeah.
we get to retire.
Yeah.
There's a point in your life that you get to stop and enjoy what you've built.
You know what it reminds me of? Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Spoiler alert for anyone who has never seen Game of Thrones. Fast forward a few minutes if you haven't. Ready? 3, 2, 1. When at the end of season 5, when Jon Snow dies, okay, and then he turns around in the beginning of season 6, as we all expected, he comes back to life. He was kind of screwed up by that. He's like, no, I was dead. I'm done. Like, I shouldn't be here. At this point, I've moved on. This is not for me anymore. It is wrong that I'm here because I died. I should be over there. Like, Marcello has lived his life. He's down in a new body. Fortunately, it's not his. We can talk about that here in just a moment. But still, he's gone on to a new life. I'm done fighting. That was that life. I've turned a page. I'm into something new. What do you do with that? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what to do with it. But I love just sort of this. I no longer want to fight. That's not where it is for me anymore.
I think part of it is that he fought.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that if you can live in a way where you are doing what you're here to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're doing the stuff and you're fighting the fight. We all have our own battles we're fighting. If you do that, you get to a point where you can just be like, I'm done, right? Give me, just let me lean back and take it easy for a while and enjoy the fruits of my labor. But if you're not living that life, you're not fighting, then maybe you're one of the 2 billion people on the planet that died to protect him. Now, it's not a bad thing that they did that, but also they're not out there being public enemy number one.
Right.
So what's your thing, right, that makes you somebody's public enemy number one or public hero number one that would then allow you to say, I'm done fighting.
Yeah.
I fought the fight.
There's also this thing that I love about, and this may be a little bit more of along the lines of mirror to society, state of human nature, the hope that we can be better in the future. Okay. Is this, there's this piece with Marcello where he and Daniel are having a conversation at the end when it's Daniel in Marcello's body, Marcello in Daniel's body, and they're having a conversation. Daniel looks at him and goes, dude, you're no better than a Gould.
Yeah.
Here's Marcello like, haven't I earned, don't you guys owe me this body? He goes, no, I don't owe you my body. You're I'm nothing better than a host to you. I'm not a Gould. Actually, you are. You've become the thing that you fought against, right? The best part of that, though, was when Marcello looked at Sam and said, you know what? If I could change places with him, I would.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to be talked to. He was able to be reasoned with. He was able to turn back from making a poor choice. Better to have never made the poor choice in the first place.
Maybe.
But we all make poor choices
exactly.
from time to time. To be teachable, to be moldable, to be concerned, to have a warm heart towards others, to be able to go, you know what? This actually was not the path I meant to go on. Let me come back from that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull this back in, make my apologies, do what I have to do. I love that idea that we all can make poor choices, but that's not what we have to live in.
It's not the end of us.
There's a message out there, and I love this message. Who you are has far more to do with the choices that you make than it does with how you're born or the family you're born into, the socioeconomic status you're born into, the race, the gender identity, the sexual orientation. Like, it's the actual choices you make as a person, right?
The choices, the experiences that form you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But when you make the wrong choices, to be able to come back from that you don't let your past choices that were bad continue to define who you are, or that you just sit, well, I just made this choice, and, so I love that one. I love that one. But Jeff, the coup d'etat, the one that I really want to focus on, the one I'm going to actually grade this particular episode on.
This is the one.
Is simply this. Fred meets Michello, or rather Michello meets Fred. And they have this talk where Michello's just like, hey, aren't we strange? Well, what is strange? Aren't you doing? So we are strange together. He goes through this piece, and this piece speaks specifically to the litmus test of how do we treat each other better, Jeff?
Right.
He finds himself a stranger. He finds a point of commonality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, we can relate because we're this. Now, you and I are very different people. I'm not even from this planet.
Right?
But
I fought intergalactic wars.
Yes. But here's a place where we're both common. We're both strange. Okay, cool. And he's like, let's be friends. Let's just be friends. He wasn't looking to fight. And he's like, let's go get some food on you. If that's your custom. Yeah. You know what he did? He met Fred where he was.
Yeah.
Now that moment was kind of played for laughs a little bit. And it was also a MacGuffin for how they found where Daniel was later on. Right. But still, Daniel, he was like, if that's your custom, I love that. Like, he met Fred where he was. He did the things according to Fred's in order to be a friend.
Yeah.
And sometimes in order to be a friend, you got to kind of do things the way that they do, but you find the point of commonality. I remember an episode of Home Improvement. Did you ever watch that show, Jeff?
Okay.
Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Tim the Toolman Taylor, right? This is an episode that I watched as a teenager and has ripple effects into how I parent my children.
Wow.
This episode does, right? It's an episode where Tim, the lead character, the father, is having a hard time relating to his middle child. His middle child's just withdrawn. He's into computers and games, and Tim's all about the tools and building stuff in very different worlds. And eventually they get to a spot where Tim is challenged to go meet his kid where he's at. Instead of trying to bring his kid into Tim's world, bring him in and let him do cars, bring him and let him do tools. Instead of trying to get him to like your stuff, you go find out where he is. You get involved in what he's involved in. Meet him. And Tim comes in and he's about to like, oh, I can't believe you're just still up here playing these stupid games when we can be downstairs working. And he stops himself and he goes, tell me about what you're playing. And the kid's like, oh, really? Okay, Dad. And he just suddenly opens up.
Yeah.
And that it's a scene that impacted me so much that I try to do that with my kids. My kid started digging Pokemon. So I learned how to play Pokemon, the game. And he and I would just sit down and play Pokemon, and we do Pokemon stuff together. Do I give two flying rips about Pokemon? No, I do not.
But you do your son.
But it's a point of connection with my son. Oh, they created Pokemon Go. My son got a phone for his birthday a year or so ago, and he's got his little and he loves Pokemon. And I told his mom, because his mom was gonna, I was like, she's like, I was somewhere else and he wanted, there's some community, something Pokemon Go. And I said, babe, create yourself an account, make yourself an account so you guys can go play together. Those two go off on more Pokemon hunting adventures to this day. She's so into this game, but we do it as a family too.
Yeah. It's no joke. So I'm down. I'm at Brent's place and they're, hey, let's go here and let's do this and let's do this thing. And I'm like, what is going? Oh, there's this event, this raid or something going on. And we're going to go to this place and do it. And I'm like, wow. But like, there's little text phone calls going on about, oh, we got to go over here to get this one. Yeah. We're walking around Disney World, right?
Yeah.
And your son's walking around getting the thing and then talking to his mom. Hey, I got this one over here and stuff. Huge.
Like, Dad,
huge
check out this new Pokemon I got. And I was like, oh, cool. Let me go get one. Yeah. I mean, it provides a point of contact that says, hey, here's how we do it. My wife and I, when we first moved to Florida, where we live now, she started working nights. I'm up during the days, and our lives just, we stopped having the connection that we had used to have just because of different things. She also decided she's a reader. She's a heavy reader, loves to read. Hadn't read for years because of life. decided she wanted to pick up reading again. And you know what? Reading is a very solitary endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how it is when you're watching a show and you're in the middle of the show and you want to find out what happens next? That's what happens to her when she's reading. And so she's just all the time reading. I don't begrudge her for reading, but I kind of miss her. Like I want her to come hang out with us, you know?
Yeah.
Same thing. I would just be like, okay, so what are you reading this week? And she's like, well, which time this week? Because I'm already like 5 books into this week. I'm like, but she started telling me about this one little like murder mystery series, the Lady Hardcastle series. And I said, okay. And so I picked up the audiobook because Brent doesn't read so well. I picked up the audiobook and started reading it. I actually rather enjoyed it. But all of a sudden, I was able to start communicating with her and go, wait a minute. Okay, so how did this happen? And figure out the mystery. And she's already listened to the book like 18 times, you know? And I'm like, but it gave us, the point is, it gave us a point of contact. It gave us something that we have in common. And what it required was me entering their world. Whether or not I cared anything about it, didn't matter. I was able to enter their world. And now we have a thing. And truthfully, I kind of enjoy it. Very long-winded way to get back to what Michello did with Fred. He melded into Fred's culture. He made friends. He just wanted to be a friend, even if he didn't know what it meant. He's like, yeah, we'll do it on me if that's what your culture says. I don't even know what that means. Doesn't matter.
I don't even know how to pay for it. I don't understand anything. Let's go do it.
I don't even know that it means that I'm paying for it. For all Michello knew, they were going to like lay him down on the ground, put food on his belly, and they were going to eat the food off of him.
Right. Do some nude sushi.
Him. Yeah. Right. So anyway, with that being said, I love that. I loved that whole piece. You know, didn't you feel for Fred when he's there, like Daniel's getting arrested or Michello's getting arrested and Fred's like, man, don't hurt him.
Right.
Like, don't hurt him. You're like, dude, that's his buddy. That's his friend. And now like, I'm worried about Fred because Daniel doesn't know about Fred.
Yeah.
But Fred's going to be like, dude, what happened to my friend, man? Like, I'm like, he made a friend. Anyway, that being said, Jeff, it falls to me to rank this rate this episode on a scale of 0 to 7 chevrons. Talking about this message, how strong the message is, honestly, quality of message, how much I enjoyed the message, how much that message is in this episode. Jeff, this message was in there. Was it what the episode was about? No. Is it something that happened? Yes. Is it an intent of the writer to put that in there? I believe so. On a scale of 0 to 7, so let's see here, halfway is 3.5. I think this is better than halfway. Would it be fair to give it 4, maybe 5? Like, I think it was a good message, good, solid, strong message. Lots of other little things peppered in here and there. Yeah, I like this one. I'm gonna go 4 chevrons on this one, Jeff.
That's a good one. I like that a lot. Great. Had a lot in it. You know, we talked a lot about this one, but also the value of human life and so many other little things peppered in. I think that's a great rating.
Well, Jeff, I misspoke a moment ago and said that I do the ranking. I don't do the ranking. I do the rating. You, my friend, however, do the ranking. It falls to you, my friend, to place this in our SG1 Season 2 100% completely accurate, definitive, and immutable ranking. Our current top 5, Jeff, is the 5th race, Serpent's Grasp and Serpent's Lair, Secrets, Thor's Chariot, and Spirits, followed up by the Toker Parts 1 and 2, In the Line of Duty, Touchstone at number 8, Message in a Bottle, and our episode from last week, Matter of Time, rounding out the top 10. Jeff, where do you place this episode, Holiday?
Struggling a little bit. This is, I'm looking at this. I think, okay. I'm going to use as my measuring stick on this one, as I always do, you know, which one would I rather watch, but also this was very clearly just an episode, right? This episode could happen at any point in the whole show, would make no difference. And that's fine. That's not a detraction from it at all. But in this season, we do have a couple little mini, I don't even want to say arcs necessarily, but connecting points throughout that are pretty big. And one of them that I am eager to see where it goes is the whole like dark faction, whatever stuff that we saw in Touchstone come out.
So, the Darken ID, the Rogan ID, or whatever it was.
Kind of thing going on. It's a thing that I think has a lot of potential to be a good storyline. So I'm going to lean on that becoming a cool thing, and I'm going to make Holiday, our new number 9.
Wow.
Right underneath Touchstone, but above Message in a Bottle.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Personally, I'm looking at this. I think I like your top 5. I would probably reorder them, and I might move Tok'ra. I might swap Tok'ra with Serpent's Grasp and Serpent's Lair. Personally, now this is just Brent. I mean, I can't change the ranking. This is yours. So, but I would probably, I like this episode. I think it's a fun episode. I enjoy this episode. This one's probably going up to me around the number 6 or 7 range.
Oh, wow.
Just because I like it. Like, I want to watch it, but I get exactly what you're talking about. That whole dark faction, is that going to be a thing? Are they coming back to it? You've definitely caught on that there are some of these arcs that are not necessarily in a row. They just come back to the storyline. So I'll take it. Number 9.
Cool. Number 9.
Agent 99. Well, Jeff, with that, that is going to do it for us with this episode, Holiday. Now, next time we are watching an episode called Serpent's Song. Serpent's Song. Jeff, you are absolutely venturing a guess here with this title, Serpent's Song. What do you think this episode might be about?
I think Apophis is going to be in this one because it's Serpent's something. So Serpent's Song, I am going to guess that they pick up some signal of some kind. It's mysterious. They want to go check it out, but it's actually like a siren song. Apophis is setting up a trap of some kind for them. So they're going to walk into a trap and have to fight their way out of some Apophis-related thing.
You're a good guesser, Jeff.
I'm sure I am.
I will tell you from this episode, I made one of my most favorite memes I've ever made before in my life.
From Serpent's Song?
From Serpent's Song. And it has to actually do with, well, we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that next week. Yeah. It's just funny. It's good-natured ribbing is all it is.
Cool.
But as far as whether or not you're right, is this a trap that is Apophis even in this? Is it a trap he's laying? What's SG1 going to have to do to get out of it? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out next time right here on Stargate SG1 for the first time. Thank you guys so much for joining us out there. Please don't forget wherever you are to subscribe and like this podcast, this video, wherever you find yourself. And please do leave us a rating and review. We do try to get to those. And also, please share this show with somebody that you know who loves Stargate SG1, or maybe somebody like Jeff over there needs to get into the gate for the very first time. So for my friend Jeff and for me, we're going to get out of here wishing you a very happy holidays.
You can read the note.
Yeah. Jeff? You okay?
Jeff? I'm Brent Allen, and I'm watching Stargate SG1 for the 40.
Crying out loud.